when they run a solo mid, instead of going the normal iron build, they actually rush the Astro lane, because if they're 1v2 in the middle lane, they like that extra little bit of tankiness. That can honestly make the difference between them dying or surviving in a 1v2 matchup. So the Astro pick up here, and obviously it's just a good overall item pick up. I mean, sometimes you see like one Astro lane per team, regardless of what kind of strategy they're going, and it's a good item to have, and just some regen as well. So.
And it is, and definitely a good candidate for that. The Shrunken Head follow-up, again, I'm kind of a little bit curious about. Is that necessary for a hero like Flex, especially, you know, only with the Astrolabe burst? And
I wouldn't say it's like necessary per se, but if you look actually for Legion, all the damage honestly is magical. Outside maybe, you know, in the late game where Moon Queen, you know, physical damage is very prevalent, but in the next sort of, you know, 5 to 10 minutes, all the damage will be in terms of magical. Even Moon Queen's ultimate obviously will be magical. And obviously it looks like a lot of team fight. Actually, middle lane there might be some action.
Oh yeah, there's something here. There we go. Magma stunts in. Madman and Dr. Pulsar, the candidates right there. Dr. Pulsar well poured away. Kelfield comes out, locking it in place somewhat, but Doctor's chasing after the Magma, saying, "You want to gank me? That ain't gonna happen." He ganks him instead, and down goes Super KGE. So great response from the team, and maybe he just got there a little too early.
Yeah, the silence was like 0.1 second just too late. Dr. Repulsor already like flew away before the silence even hit, and like you say, I think actually that the initiation coming from Super KG was just a little bit too early. I mean, Bubbles was the only one really, you know, able to get involved in the team fight, and even he was a little bit too slow. So yeah, like you said, a little bit too you know, off the gun in terms of a little bit too early. But now we actually see Tree going to take down the tier 2 now after that pickoff, and already BMG looking quite far behind. But
Dr. Repulsor flying in. They say, "You're not even going to take our tier 1. We're not going to let you at least." Bubbles, can he get away? Yes, he can, though. Got ported back as well. So good assistance. They get the bottom tower now with this all happening, and the chase continues. Empath, now we got the invis off. He is going to be fine. So how about that, though? Willow Keeper, they're not even going to let them get a free initial tower. But with that said, Moon Queen is actually still pushing the top tower. He knows that the TPs are now down, of course. But he still needs to be careful, because here comes that support. Dr. Pulsar trying to get the Moon finale goes off. Dr. Pulsar, oh, he gets the ulti off just in time. The wall comes off, though. He has barely any mana left. He will go down. Beautiful find coming out by Haxorin and support right there. Haxorin is going to be able to TP, but I think support, he might be in a lot of trouble, and probably, well, oh, he has an Ion Stone, actually. Yep. Oh, Ion Stone OP, man. Oh, Flux will spot them, though. There's the dust, and okay, they should be able to finish this off now. In the end. How about that against support going the on? He's going to wall him off if he actually gets away right here. He has another charge. Yep. He's still dusted, and not anymore. Is he in range? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He's going to live!
No
He's actually going to live! Oh, my God.
So big plays.
Wow.
And look at middle lane, all that distraction as well, and the middle lane, you know, takes a lot of damage, and obviously gives more time for Haxorin as well. I was just gonna, you know, commend support for an amazing play. Actually, you see Moon Queen already started channeling the ultimate on Dr. Repulsor, but I mean, Moon Queen needed the stun count from the Moonbeam, and so, you know, Empath took the null stun off with the Essence Link, and that was enough to kill the Dr. Repulsor. So great play count from support, not only from just the amazing juke, but just in general. Support clearly showing why he is such a strong support here.
Yep, especially with Empath. Bottom lane, Flux in trouble. Eruption being channel? No, okay, I thought he was going for it. No Eruption needed, at least that's the idea, and he was probably right. Astrolabe coming out, but they used a lot. But it does get the kill at what cost? Rhapsody coming in. Here goes Madman now as well. The supporting cast flying in. Hellflower applied, it looks like. Going to be fine initially. Ophelia not so much, though. Taking plenty of damage, will go down. Magnus actually got ported back, so the numbers all of a sudden not the best. That might have been a bad decision right there. Moonquin's in trouble. Moonquin's in a bad spot. Protect him out, it comes out. It's going to be a good duration right there. But Moonquin, she's standing around and pass inside. Gets a couple of kills. Finally falls in the end. Madman's going crazy with that Berserk, and will pick up more kills. Bubbles all of a sudden, he's the last one here. Magnus is running back. But yeah, that was okay. Well, it still kind of worked for BMG because of Moonquin with Empath, but it's not over just yet, actually. The chase continues right here. Magnus Eruption going off, drops on a Madman. Madman's dropping, won't be enough damage. Yes, it will. Flux could not get there in time. And the shell support from Bubbles. We're seeing some big plays on both sides. Zibbe trying to kite them around. He has a haste rune, so he's feeling pretty comfortable right here. Is he going to man up? Is he going to? Yes, he is. Magnus stunts in. Is BMG really going to clean this up some way, somehow? The auto attack stunts him. No one's going to miss. He ports in, though, but now he's in trouble. Down goes Bubbles. He ran right into Rhapsody. Holy crap. We have jumped into an entertaining game here.
too manly. But yeah, but look, what happened actually if Magnus didn't get ported back? That could have been a massive team fight. Actually, bottom lane, he might be in a little bit of trouble. He does have the stun away if he can get it.
1 second.
So close. But yeah, in the end, so it does. Yeah, just does get away in the end. But yeah, that pullback on Magnus, that could have been such a big team fight. I mean, yeah, it went alright in the end. And they're only sort of 5,000 gold, 2,000 experience, and at least they do have the Moon Queen, who's farming quite 450 GPM. It's kind of an interesting strategy how they're kind of rolling it. They're kind of rolling as Moon Queen as sort of a team fight, and yet still having the presence into the late game, because they're still sort of taking team fight, still pushing towers, which I'm not 100% sure if I agree with or not. I mean, they do have obviously the Ophelia for the pushing potential, and I mean Moon Queen is still a good team fighter, obviously because of his ultimate, but obviously, I mean, she could have like an incredible snowballing potential in terms of farm, and she doesn't have a stronger head yet either, so obviously some things to note here, but I guess she's pretty much likely going to be going for the stronger head next, which will help her in terms of survivability. She only got 1 death though, so at least she isn't doing too badly in terms of farm and survivability.
Yeah, I mean Moon Queen, let's be honest, not usually considered not one of the more difficult heroes to play. One of the less difficult heroes to play, especially in that carry role, but at the same time, Haxford has plenty of experience playing it when it comes down to it. So sure, he might have been out of the scene for a little bit, but when it comes to just comfort factor, he knows what he's doing on this hero. And yeah, the Shrunken Head, that will finish that Trinity core of items, the Whispering Helm, Geometer's Bane, and the Shrunken Head. Middle lane in the meantime, Flux, though, he's getting caught up. Magnus missed the stun completely. Super KG, he's like, oh crap, this is not good. Release comes out, Empath in trouble as well. Staccatos to follow. Dr. Pulsar flies in, he catches Magnus. Talk about a backfire. Wow. I mean, missing that stun set up all of that.
And now they're going to take Congor as well, most likely. Just like that, 1 kill or 2 kills can make all the difference. And I don't know if BMG had the right mindset in doing that. They didn't have Moon Queen. Moon Queen was still farming in the Legion jungle. Everyone was off the map except for Flux. And what else do they expect? Do they expect the other teams, the other enemy team, not to back up Flux there? And obviously, the stronger hit on Flux, as well as obviously the discharge and the pullback onto the Flux ultimate. It was such a big turn of events. And look at that, 4,000 to 5,000 gold in just a matter of seconds. And now for BMG, it's looking very, very grim.
Yeah. BMG usually good, especially with the Bubbles hero. But obviously in this case, again, take those stats how you will. Somewhat of a different team, of course, in the end. But Willow Keeper definitely on the verge of pulling off. Well, I don't know. I don't want to call this an upset because I don't think it is. Even if Willow Keeper is to come through by any means, just with the roster changes and everything, but still a very deserving and what could be a pretty monumental victory. I guess probably was the word I was looking for. Anyways, still we still got plenty of game left, I'm sure. So they are up 1-0 though, and in a pretty good spot for that. But here we are.
Moon Queen out.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's I was actually thinking about that too. I'm glad you said that because. Yeah, exactly. Do I have to say more than that? Do you have to say, like, we've seen many games, including one of the most iconic comebacks ever, and that involved a Moon Queen. Yeah, so there's still potential, definitely. I mean, the team fight's also pretty strong here. Magnus and Bubbles alone to assist. And you got Empath thrown inside of Moon Queen, so yeah, it's once she gets a Shrunken Head, don't think that you have a secured victory here, and I'm sure they don't. I'm sure they're very aware of that too. But Doctor does have a token of life. 3.5 minutes remaining here. Working towards a Shrunken Head in the meantime. As Rhapsody going to port top, as Mammon's also already up here. Mammon's got his own Shrunken Head with the Energizer as well as that Blood Chalice. Giving him some good regen. Look at Torture even. Torture actually even getting the Abyssal Skull here for the team.
Yeah, so does Empath actually. Yeah, and it's good though, because obviously, like we said, that they've been doing a lot of team fight. Any kind of team support items, like obviously the Astrolabe, like the Abyssal Skull, it can really make a difference between in these team fights. Just that passive armor or even the passive lifesteal can be the difference between obviously winning and losing the team fight. One thing to me that I found quite astonishing and quite interesting, actually, is although obviously it does look like Tree is ahead by 10,000 gold, 9,000 experience, the kills, they're only 1 kill ahead, yet they're so far ahead, and they've only took I think 2 more towers than BMG. So I'm assuming the creep efficiency for Tree is just so much more in favour than compared to BMG.
Moon Queen, the top farming hero in general in recorded history, 521 gold per minute average game. Doctor though third on that list, so I got a couple of heavy farming heroes here, and they both are kind of living up to that, as you would expect. in this game. But yeah, here we go. Willow Keeper, as you're stating, I mean, they cannot think that this is a free push by any means. Granted, Moon Queen doesn't have the Shrunken Head just yet, so without that, I think it's safe to say if you're a BMG, you're not nearly as confident as far as engaging right here. So you gotta pick and choose your fights, and they are gonna choose not to fight right here as far as the middle secondary tower. So that will be the last tower kill. You do see the bottom lane, Bubbles, being played by Exhibit here, is actually pushing out the bottom side and gonna force Willow Keeper to kind of make a decision, if anything. But clearly their decision is actually, you know what, we don't care. We're going to push top lane. And that does force Bubbles to ultimately get back as well. So, again, this is a tough spot for BMG. He's not going to have the Shrunken Head. He won't for a little bit longer. He could maybe sell the Mystic Vestments and get it, but that's kind of risky in itself. So, there we go. It takes the Null Stone off. Remember, there is a token on it, Doctor. I think this is definitely, this should probably be at least a tower kill, though. They might fall back after that. Still on the hang around here.
It's very close. Yeah, I mean, Magmix does have the portal key, so at least they have some kind of the initiation advantage, because obviously Tree have to go uphill, so they've got obviously portal keys on Bubbles, and Magmix will have to see though.
There's the jump up, Flux in the back when he pulls in Magnus. Actually, Dr. Pulsar being locked out. Okay, Magnus got ported back right there, so we're just simply trying to get something going. Doctor's kind of getting low, but again, if anything, he's probably just going to say screw it. Bubbles in the back, using the count field. Will this start a fight though? Dr. Pulsar, he's thinking about it. He goes in. No, the take cover goes off. The Bouncestar needs to be very careful about this. He's locking down Moon Queen. Will they get the follow-up damage needed? Moon Queen's dropping. Moon Queen's holding her ground. The Infinite Touch comes out. Will it beat up the wall off as well? It's not going to be enough. Yes, it will be enough. Down goes Moon Queen. Doctor in trouble though. Essence Lake, the stun comes out. Can't you get away? No, she cannot. Says Zimmy. He at least snipes out Doctor. So 1 for 1. Make that a 2 for 1. And Super KG did go down as well. Moon Queen buys back, and the rest will pour out. So ultimately a 1 victory for Willow Keeper.
Yeah, and one thing you probably didn't notice, actually, such a big play coming from Root of Z. Magnus was channeling Eruption here on the left side. Torture actually stunned through the trees and then tableted Magnus just before he got the Eruption off, and that could have been the difference between obviously Moon Queen surviving and Doctor going down. Obviously, he did die in the end, but yeah, honestly, my MVP for that team fight was Root of Z. He completely zoned out what was going on in the team fight and just focused on the Magnus, making sure he did not get the Eruption off, and as a result, Tree won that team fight easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, that's definitely worth mentioning. So big credits to Z right there, perhaps, for arguably winning that fight. Again, it didn't come at no cost, though. Obviously, Dr. Repulsor falling even with the token alive after is pretty big. But going to be resurrecting here in about 20 seconds. And a Brutalizer just finished on Madman. That's where he starts to get really scary, especially with the Shrunken Head already on top of that. So we talk about these kind of heroes that their skill set alone allows them to do plenty of damage. He's on that list. And having a Brutalizer with a Shrunken will now make him very extra scary. Both in, well, he's a madman after all. So he's going to go to the top lane with the rest of his team. How about this? I mean, there's still a top tower up here even. There's 3 towers in total still remaining for the Hellborn side. As we are now about 33 minutes in here. So BMG hasn't been able to really get the most push, even with an Ophelia, actually. It's a little surprising, perhaps, at this point of the game. But, we did jump in about the 20-minute mark, so can't say 100% how it went early on. But we got the information now to work with, and it looks like Willow Keeper, they don't need a token. There's still no Shrunken. Again, he bought back, so I think that's, if anything, why Willow Keeper is going to just continue to kind of knock on the door. Okay, look at that, though. He sold something and bought it.
Energizer.
Okay, he did sell the Energizer, yep. Worth it, you think? Is that necessary here? It's just like they got to do that?
Yeah, because if they lose this team fight, I think it's going to be game. So, and the Shrunken is, of course, more important than the Energizer. So, and I think actually Tree have just saw that, and actually they're going to back off. So, in the end, I guess that's enough for them to back off. So, definitely a good pickup from Haxron in that respect.
Yeah. All right, so no engagement, as the fallback sure enough does happen. Instead, more farm to go around, including Flux, man. He's got to have a pretty big item coming out for him. 3,500 gold saved up on Krake. Playing the Flux. Going to bottle up that refreshment rune right there and walk on by. Madman kind of clearing up the Legion jungle a little bit before making his exit. Double damage rune will spawn right in front of him in the meantime, and he'll gladly pick that up and continue to farm elsewhere, perhaps with those Ancients. But yeah, now that Moon Queen has those trio of items in the Shrunken Head, Whispering Helm, Geometer's Bane, that's prime time for BMG to look pretty good for some fights coming up. Perhaps a level 16 Magnus would also be something that they're looking for, as well as Bubbles for that matter. Getting those tier 3 ultimates. pretty useful as well. But so if you're Willow Keeper here, I mean, what do you think? Maybe waiting for another Congor kill, playing it patient enough for that, and then looking to do something?
Yeah, that, or they try and find a pick-off with say, the Flux and Doctor Repulse. So Doctor Repulse pick up the Hellflower, so they could even pick off anyone, honestly, even the Moon Queen. Actually, talking of Moon Queen, she might be in trying. Doctor Repulse is just going to rotate up to the top lane, but yeah, I mean, they can either wait for the Congor, or if circumstances allow it, try and go for a pick-off on one of the team, preferably maybe the Moon Queen, because if they get the Moon Queen, that's most likely game, because obviously Moon Queen doesn't have a buyback. So yeah, probably that in the long term, just wait for Congor and then go from there, or try and search for a pick-off in the meantime.
Well, they're kind of doing that somewhat maybe with the top side. I mean, hell, they even steal the Legion Ancient, so if they can even manage that, they'll gladly take it at 13,000 plus gold lead. But as we keep going back to and refer to it, it's almost pointless to look at the overall golden experience lead, especially when a Moon Queen's farming 470 GPM herself. Here in this case for BMG, so that's the positive for Bad Monkey Gaming, as big as the deficit may seem. As far as the overall stats, Icebrand just picked up by Flux, so he's going to be going that process going. Remember, that is impacted by the ultimate, of course. The AOE presence of slowing everything around you with the popping that dissipates, or discharge.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah, one thing to know though is the biggest item pickup here for BMG in the next couple of minutes will be the Hellflower for Bubbles. If they can get that and actually jump onto the Doctor Repulsor, that could be the difference between them winning the team fights or not. Because we saw in the first series we casted how much the Hellflower did against the Doctor Repulsor. So he's picked up the Hellflower now. This could be massive actually. The next team fight, if they can lock down the Doctor Repulsor before he can do anything, this could be honestly a massive factor actually in the next team fight for BMG.
Perhaps the window that BMG
definitely
needs to try to make something happen. The question is, though, will they even look for that window, or will they just continue to play more of the passive route? I mean, so far, obviously, he just got it, so not going to put too much thought into that just yet, but keep an eye on that over these next couple of minutes now and see how that plays out. Again, Congor's got to be coming up here shortly. I would think maybe in the next 2 to 3 minutes, or now. Right. It pops up right as I happen to go over there, so... There you go, Congor's up, and actually Man-Man's already there, as well as a majority of the Hellborn team. And what is Willow Keeper? You see the bound die going off. Not going to spot the Word of Sight, though, on the Legion's side right there, so BMG, excuse me, definitely has the information that they need, as far as even sending in the Catman champion, just in case, so...
Yeah, I mean BMG needs to take this Congor fight. Like, they can't give it up, because their really only goal here is killing the Doctor Repulsor at least once. I mean, if he has token, they'll not be able to drop him twice. So they need to make sure if there is a Congor fight going on, they'll make sure that they're involved in it. Yeah.
So falling back for the time being and farm elsewhere, but this does mean that Willow Keeper once again too will also get their next tier of items, and again, specifically that Frostful Skull on Flux here, and Madman, perhaps whatever item he's looking for, already with that Brutalizer pickup as we talked about. So we'll see what that follows going to be. How about this pickup by Haxer in here? A Snake Bracelet on its own to eventually a Wing Bow, but getting the evasion here.
Yeah, it's good. It's the best part of the build up to Wingbow. Arguably better than the Quick Blade as well, because obviously going against probably the sort of the Tricore here for Tree, they won't be able to. They'll be doing a lot less damage, of course, due to the evasion actually. So and obviously it's a lot cheaper as well compared to the Quick Blade, and also obviously might allow Moon Queen to farm up a buyback instead of going for the 3,000 gold item instead. Yeah.
Topside, Doctor's here. Oh, yeah, he's ready to go. If Moon Queen goes up further, Moon Queen's going. Well, this is interesting. He knows he's there.
Though. They need to get Congor. Like, if they lose Congor and Doctor gets it, this could be really bad. Doctor's already TPing in.
Yeah, okay.
This is going to be bad. This is going to be like... Because they definitely had the potential to kill Doctor at least once with the Hellflower item pickup, but now him having 2 lives... I mean, initiation here has to be absolutely perfect for them to defend their base, but I mean, BMG might be able to do it though. Tree aren't going to push it just yet, most likely going to wait for the next tier of items, most likely the Sheepstick on the Doctor Repulsor, but when that Sheepstick is up on Doctor, expect them to start pushing mid, and that will be the death push here for BMG if they can't hold it.
Yeah, the longer we wait though, Wing Bow going to be finished eventually on Moon Queen, so the Snake Bracelet's one thing, but having a full Wing Bow, pretty damn good of course. Like I said, also, especially with that empath follow-up here.
Moon Queen
inside, but yeah, now she does have support nearby, so if they want to jump, this could come at a cost, and they're not going to. Yeah, they probably figure, if anything, that may be the case. So, not going to risk going crazy right there. As Dr. Pulsar was, well, also farming the middle lane, so no point to jump without her, especially, or him, or whatever it is. Top lane, though, again, that first tower even still up, so Willow Keeper putting some resources into defending it continuously as we now reach 40 minutes into this game, but I don't think it's going to be much longer that they're going to want to defend it. In fact, Flux might be in trouble himself as they're coming up here. So the question is, if they jump in, will this buy time for supports to come in? Yeah.
We saw that before, like, I don't understand how these players, they just always got this like spidey sense to know when this is going to happen or not.
Not so much presence of mind here for Torture, though. He's going to get caught out in the jungle. Not much he's going to be able to do. He has a trunk in, but he's not going to use it. I don't even know if he had a chance, and yeah, he gets picked off in the end. So
obviously, because now they can take their tier 1 top, that's going to increase their, or reduce the deficit here for BMG. Also delays the push coming out from Dr. Repulsor and the whole of the tree team. So, I mean, it's a massive pickup actually, although it's just on the support. 50 seconds dead on to a level 16 Torture actually, so, and a big pickup. They might even try and take a tier 2 if they're feeling greedy.
Alright, there's the question. Doesn't look like it. Kind of starting to fall back. Moon Queen's going to clean up the jungle a little bit of what she can. And again, still needs the Dancing Blade here, though, as well as the Steam Staff, so still a bit more gold to go before we're going to have that farm. Actually gets sent back by Ophelia right there, so good teamwork. Going to probably go to the middle lane and clean up what is pushed up, as well as the Ancients actually being double stacked currently. Eventually make that triple stack. So for the time being, though, Dr. Pulsar, I'm pretty sure he just finished his Sheep Stick. Yep, that's going to be coming out here. Torture's going to be resurrecting, of course. Hell, there's 2,100 plus. He could get a portal key on Rhapsody if he really wanted to at this rate. I'm curious what actually Fusion decides to go for with all that gold being pulled up here. Has a Boundyne Striders.
Stick on Dr. Pulsar now as well.
Yep, that just got delivered, so Moon Queen going to clear out those double stack Ancients in the meantime. Again, Doctor has a token for 2 more minutes, so... And I was going to say, this is definitely that time to make something happen. They go top lane.
I don't know if I agree with the Dancing Blade pickup here on Moon Queen.
Oh, yeah.
She will be able to finish off the Wingbow most likely. Yeah, picked up there, but she doesn't have a buyback. And with Sheepstick and Hellflower picked up on Moon Queen, the team support has to be absolutely perfect if Moon Queen is to survive. So
Moon Queen dies,
comes the death for us.
Probably GG. That's basically what it comes down to now. With that, but look at this positioning. Super KGE, he's in a hidden spot right here. I don't think he's been seen just yet. He's got a beautiful angle with the flank. Here we go. Eruption going to be channeled. He jumps into the background. Going to catch only Flux, though. Not the biggest stun in the world. And actually, Flux going to hold his ground initially. He is pretty tanky. He's taking a good amount of damage off the bat. He does go down before he can even discharge right there. And actually, Torture, no. Protective Melody's used, but just out of Soul and Torture. This is not looking good for it. Willow Keeper. Dr. Pulsar finally goes in. Storm Spirit, though, on a Moon Queen. Doctor's flying around. He's looking to lock somebody down. He goes for Moon Queen. Moon Queen's in trouble. She's been locked down. Moon Queen, well, no, and finally falls. The missiles come out. Gets killed right there. He got a quad kill just before, though. So even with his death, will it matter? Dr. Pulsar, he gets a double tap. He is going to resurrect right with the token. Again, Moon Queen, does she have enough for a buyback now? No, she still does not, actually. There's the catch on the empath. So he gets a hat trick, actually. He could go for more, perhaps. No, not going to dive into the base at this point. So that was a weird fight, man. That was a weird fight indeed on both sides. Not making the best decisions at points, but Moon Queen got a quad kill before he died. Is Doctor really going to go for this and actually get this?
Pretty good, though.
There is no CC really to be too worried about, I guess. Yeah, he's going to go for it, and he's going to get it. Storm Spirit, okay, just a little bit, and he gets it. He's going to go for the kill, too. Okay, that's a little bit greedy. Yeah, he just get out of there now. As he does. Okay, so that should be... Oh, my God, maybe not. Oh, he was greedy. He stayed around a little bit too long. Is that going to backfire in the end? You got another portal key coming up in 6 seconds.
He should be fine. His mana regen is insane. And
okay, yeah, look at that, jeez.
As well. But yeah, I mean, one thing that honestly that really stood out to me, actually, Magnus. Oh dear.
Oh.
It should be fun. Okay, yeah. Going back, actually, the Nature's Wrath from Ophelia was doing so much work. Actually, the 28% increase of damage taken onto the Flux actually made him drop so quickly as well.
True.
Obviously, Haxon did get the quad kill, and obviously the Wingbow did pay off in the end. I thought it was definitely risky. They still did lose the Raxo in the top lane. Obviously not the biggest of deals because they're still in the game, and obviously the token was used up for Dr. Repulsor. But bit by bit, BMG are slowly getting whittled away here by Tree, and and how long do BMG have left in them, though, is the question.
That's what it goes back to. But yeah, I saw a lot of misses popping up there, so no doubt credit to that wingbow pickup for Moon Queen just prior. As it was very debatable at that timing, but as you're stressed, and quad kill coming out, and big part of that perhaps. So worked out in that sense, but as we also pointed out, as we saw, the racks going down, so still definitely a lot of positive there for Willow Keeper. Jeez. I mean, I think we referred to that, I guess, that last cycle too, but Baltazar, 15-0 when he farms 500 gold per minute plus. I mean,
that's crazy.
I guess that shouldn't be too surprising. I would assume a lot of carry players, when they farm 500 gold per minute plus, probably have pretty high win percentages, if not undefeated even still, but it's still pretty, you know, it's just looking at that, though, it's, you know, obviously it means something. So is this going to be the game that varies, or will this be your typical, I mean, hell, for that matter, too, you got Haxter, is also 510 gold per minute over here on the BMG side. So
someone's got to lose, I guess.
Exactly.
Someone's got to lose.
Somebody with over 500 gold per minute is going to lose this game. That is for certain. But more gold being picked up on either side, and yes, that means for the Moon Queen, but it also means Doctor and Madman especially. Again, you cannot forget about Madman here, and he now has another 4,000 gold saved up. So Boxy, what do you think? You just go like Savage Mace here? Because the Wingbow especially?
Yeah, I mean, the Savage Mace probably make the most amount of sense. Obviously, it would make his damage output insane. He's got obviously the defensive item of the Strong Head, which he's not really dropping in team fights that much. So yeah, I think the Savage Mace would make the most amount of sense. And if he can just sort of sit on Moon Queen, the bash proc actually as well from the Brutalizer can be a massive factor. So as long as Madman can just sort of sit and just right click onto the Moon Queen will be dropping very, very quickly. So the team support for BMG has to be there if Moon Queen is to output her damage.
So the overall damage charts, Doctor is leading the overall damage, 19%, but Moon Queen following pretty close right there at 18% as far as overall damage goes. But yeah, more farm going to be had, and next Congor kill will be a token of life here. Okay, there you go. Quincy coming through right there. Exhibit 6-2, Emma Boy 17-3, Flensmeister 16-0. So yeah, Baltazar definitely respectably up there, but you see Flensmeister also up at the same time as well, at that 16-0 record himself. So, but yeah, exactly. Will this be the game that is lost for him, or will he continue that trend? Is the bigger thing to look at there. Look at Flux, though. He gets a plate mill at least, eventually a Frostfield plate, but you mentioned how quickly he dropped last time, thanks to the Nature's Wrath from Ophelia, especially. At least going to mitigate even more damage though with that pickup. But yeah, not getting the discharge off is a pretty big deal. I mean, that kind of disorients the team, as well as obviously groups them up to allow your team to do a lot more damage in the process. So that was a good start for BMG, and perhaps a big part, once again, of why they were able to do what they did in the last fight. Congor, though, once again, is going to pop up right here. No, okay. I was hoping that would happen again and look really cool, but never mind. We're approaching 48 minutes. Probably going to be up, though, in the next minute or so. And that would be a third Congor kill to happen for whichever team decides to get it. If they do. Obviously, Hellborn advantage definitely playing a role here for Willow Keeper in the end. There's a Savage Mace on Doctor. Okay. Thinking of anything against a Madman, but yeah.
I mean, Madman will most likely pick one up as well, yeah. So you just see him picked him up then, and now Moon Queen is in the situation where she's a little bit in a sticky situation, because she hasn't picked up the similar rage yet, which is kind of her main defensive item outside of the Strong Head, because now obviously the Wingbow is kind of nullified after the Savage Mace picked up. So she needs maybe like 3 more minutes to really pick up the similar rage, and then she might be in a good position to fight. But it just seems like every single team fight she needs that extra little bit of farm just to get her onto the next set of items. But I don't know if Trio are going to be able to give her the next couple of minutes, because it looks like they're grouping up to do something.
Now this is interesting, because Doctor's not with this team over here. Is that an eruption? No, he's just taunting. Okay. Or he's just doing something else. I thought Magnus might have been channeling an eruption right there, but just freaking out. I was going to say that if he jumped in right there, Doctor wasn't with the team at that time, so that could have been big. But in the end, Doctor joining with the team. Here we go with the Congor Madman, of course, very, very good with that. Axe of the Mouth. Okay, sold. I was going to say that was that was a pretty interesting timing once again, but no, he does sell it. He bought an Axe of the Malphite, kind of gauging where he's at. did a Moon Queen, but sells it. But going to eventually be getting the Symbol of Rage, I'm sure. How about this, though? BMG, Tank Effect just sending in the minions, sacrificing them basically to Willow Keeper. They know that Congor is getting low, and they're going to try their darnest to do what they can. But, oh, look at this positioning by Matt. He was able to scoot up here. He's shielding the eruption. This could be big. A big stun room. Super KG. Protect him. Melody saving the day initially. Flux pulls him in. Moon Queen. She joins the party as well. She's got full life. Good to go with that Shrunken. In the meantime, though, Dr. Repulsor, he's fighting around the background. He is dropping low himself. He needs to get the hell out of there. Empath inside of Moon Queen. Moon Queen, where is the token? Who got it?
Madman.
Madman actually got the token? Okay, yeah, he does get the token. He's locking down Moon Queen, and that is going to do it in the end in terms of that fight. Man, oh man, yeah, the token was there for a bit.
He was on the floor for like 5-6 seconds. Madman actually picked up the bananas,
ran
outside the Congor pit, realised actually he hadn't took up the token, ran all the way back in, and Moon Queen was just a little bit too slow. But yeah, good innovation come out from Super K to try and line up the eruption, but it just wasn't enough. The team fight for Tree is too strong there now. You know, Madman and the Dr. Pulse has picked up the Savage Mace, but Moon Queen did buy back. So lost buyback, but Bubbles and Moon Queen, can they hold against the 4 Tree heroes? And it does actually look like that is enough. They are going to back off in the end. So for now, BMG are still in the game.
You couldn't have asked for a better initiation right there. I mean, Super KG really landed it. The follow-up came in. Moon Queen, those glaives bouncing around, but in the end, obviously not nearly enough. And we saw the end result. So yeah, the token of life does stay on Madman. I think that's the biggest thing of it all. You know, usually in those clusters of fights, we see maybe at least a token being burnt. But no, not the case. Madman not only stays on top of that fight and wins it for his team, but he still has the token of life. And this is a Madman now. It's, you know, overall GPM, only 373 gold per minute. You look at that style, and you're like, oh, he's not that crazy. Well, no, he's crazy. Again, being the hero himself. But Savage Mace has been picked up, nearly 2,000 more gold, and that token ready to go. So Boxy in a very good spot for his team's success in terms of moving forward. Now, Symbol of Rage is being worked on by Haxrin, and we do go back to the classic case of don't look at the top stat line because as far as the overall golden experience, because there's a Moon Queen that's farming very well still on BMG, and you can never underestimate that even. As he has reached that level 25 mark now. He is out of buybacks, of course, so he is definitely all in that sense as well. Here is Moon Queen, and really BMG. They definitely know that too. If Moon Queen gets picked off, then that could definitely be the game. Frostfield play just finished on Flux in the meantime. There's the post stay starting to come out now. This one picked up by Dr. Repulsor right here. So we are getting to that 60-minute mark, and Quincy was pointing that out. Doctors actually happens to be 3-0 in those 60-minute plus games, whereas Moon Queen's 1-1 overall. There's a lot of different cases where different records could be on the line in different senses. So yeah, I mean, as far as kills and being involved, action on the Moon Queen has definitely been that 13, 4, and 5 here. But the end result not looking as pretty for BMG in the end. So Willow Keeper, understandably, they're going to make use of that token, and why the hell not? They have BMG on their back foot here, and they're going to push in this bottom lane as they should.
Yeah, and obviously she was, Frostfield picked up by Flux as well, so the issue they had in the last team fight were him dropping very, very quickly due to the nature's rough, most likely won't be the case here. 3,200 HP, so I mean, this looks like to be the death push break here. Yep.
Will this be it is the question. Again, you got Moon Queen. He hasn't been able to finish the symbol, so he's tanked up quite a bit, but without the symbol, he's not nearly as scary. That basically gives him a second life if used correctly. Oh, well, never mind. He actually just got enough gold for it. All right.
This could be big, honestly.
Yeah. It does see how? Okay, yeah, it's finished. There you go. So, there we go. Delivered in full. And I try to clean up the creep wave, doing a pretty good job of that. Glaives as well as the team assistants doing work. You look at the other lanes, though, while this is being pushed, especially the top lane. Remember, that's racks down in favor of the Hellborn team. So Willow Keeper is going to play this very patient as they should. And kind of let that top lane do its work. Now, there is only a minute remaining. Berserk is popped right there. So here we go. Never mind about patience. They say Dr. Pulsar, he's been locked on the background. Going to be fine for Melody. Already channeled, stopped immediately. Moon Queen, he is still well alive, but Magnus got picked off. He couldn't really do much. The Sheepstick on a Dr. Pulsar gets out, though. It's a cluster of a fight. Moon Queen, the Symbol of Rage does go down right there. Tried so hard to live, but it wasn't to be. And now Bubbles, he is screwed as well. He will fall. What basically is a genocide. Magma spies back, but what is he going to do by himself? No eruption to be had. He just stunts in, hoping to scare them off. That's not going to happen. and it's going to be official. Willow Keeper takes the series 2-0 over Bad Monkey Gaming. And that means Willow Keeper will move on to the winner bracket finals to take on Sync Esports next weekend here for cycle number 2. What a game, too. Glad we jumped into that one there.
Yeah, definitely. It is very close, and it went down to the wire. There was definitely a possibility for BMG to get back into the game, but in the end, Tree showing that they are probably most likely the number 2 team, and they're here to try and contest Sync for even that number 1 spot as well.
Yeah, that's kind of the really intriguing thing for me. I mean, obviously more about this series, though, real quickly. You got BMG on the other hand. A lot of people are very curious, as we were, as again everyone else really, in terms of how they would play, especially here in cycle number 2, knowing that Tankafed and Haxman especially haven't been around the competitive scene for a bit. We know that they have great history. They've been away, though, for